The hardest one I ever had was Sonic the Hedgehog. I used to play I played Dr. Robotnik. I hate that hedgehog. But in the first round, because there were several versions, in the first round I played a little character named Grounder. The little sort of tractor kid with that coney nose. He said, hey, I'm not stupid. I just lost my head for a moment. Remember that night? Oh, you're still on the VHS. That's how old it is. No, anyway. But I'll tell you a funny story about this. Is another voice actor named Philip Hayes. I don't know if you know Phil Hayes. He played Slash on Hack and Slash with Reboot. And as well as Scott. There was two Slashes. But Phil and I were, basically, we were the only ones in the studio recording these characters. And Marcia Goodman, who was producing the show for Deke at that time, so after we'd been recording for 4 weeks, and it sounds like that the voices aren't working. We don't like them. Change them, or you will be fired. What? No. This is going to be the funniest voice. We want these characters to be remembered forever. Go. Come up with something different. We were doing like a bite out of Lou Costello. And we're trying to go, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? Because Phil was originally Grounder, and I was the chicken, the big chicken. Oh! What's his name?
Scratch.
Huh? Scratch! You know, it was Scratch originally. And he was kind of weird, like a Bud Abbott thing. Hey, Grounder, you know? And they didn't like it. And so I said, well, look at, why don't we just change characters? You become Scratch, and I'll become Grounder. And he goes, that's a great idea. So we split the characters, and I came up with this voice, and he came up with his Scratch chicken voice. And they went, oh, those are the voices, you keep your jobs. But it was very bizarre, and then I took over the character of Dr. Robotnik as well.
Yay, Robotnik.
So there you go. Yes?
Speaking of which, if Sega approached you to do Dr. Robotnik for any new Sonic games, would you want to do it?
I'm sorry?
If Sega approached you to do Dr. Robotnik for any new Sonic games, would you want to do it?
Oh, yes. I love it, because they've got all those high-class lubricants to move us along. That's way in the back.
What's your favorite animal? And if you had it your way, would you have Optimus Primal transform into that animal instead of...
It's very simple. What is my favorite animal? And what would I much prefer Optimus to be? A Coatimundi. I love those. It looks like a raccoon with a big, long, pointy nose. It's an anteater from Mexico. Coatimundi. I just like the name. I'm sorry?
Coatimundi.
Oh, they would if they saw it. They saw over their heads. Oh, there you go.
No one knew what a meerkat was until Lion King.
Yeah. Is the meerkat not the coolest thing?
Come on.
You've got to move it.
Yeah, they're starring everywhere, meerkats, you know?
Yes, sir.
And what was it like to decide you wanted to get into this industry? And how long did it take you to break into it and become established?
Well, you know what? I started acting when I was like 9. So my parents sort of put me into it because I was annoying. And they were trying to channel that irritation. And I just started doing, plays, theater, all that kind of thing. And then moved to, that was in Edmonton, or just outside Edmonton in St. Albert. And then moved to Vancouver when I was like 14. And then was approached by an agent, started. And so in terms of like the voice stuff, it was another audition and it sort of opened up a whole new world. But yeah, I mean, so I didn't necessarily make a conscious decision to sort of, I mean, I remember being a young person saying, I want to be an actor. And my parents going, well, I want to think of a second string here, Bo. Because my parents are creepy and they talk like this. It's just great. Yeah, and that's kind of how I sort of entered into it, but I don't know.
No.
My first audition was Detention I was such a smart ass and acting up so much in school. I mean, a very good man who did me a huge favor said, you're in a play. And I just fell in love with it and found a place where all of my smart assness was actually appreciated. I could open my mouth and not be told to shut up. And just rolled ass backwards into a lot of great things from there.
I owe my acting career to a fellow named Keith Taverner, who I didn't know at the time was a gay guy, the only gay guy in my school. And I used to go to Steveston High School out in Richmond when I was a kid. And, do you know Steveston? It's a great school.
Wait, do you go to
Yeah.
Steveston? Oh.
No way.
I went to Richmond High, does that count?
I went to Richmond.
Shut up, I went to Richmond.
I went from Richmond.
I graduated Richmond.
No way.
Class of 91.
Why?
That's
I
what
love
I saw.
them. I'm not telling you when I graduated, but it was a long time ago. Anyway, this guy Keith Taverner, I was fooling around singing some songs, and I used to make little movies with a friend of mine, like, Super 8, used to make westerns and stuff in Steveston, because it looked like a western town at that time.
Well, horses were
many
going
years
there.
ago.